Well, the 5G networks in China are slated to be rolling out later this year and into the new year. But of course, that doesn't mean they're going to be switched on everywhere across China. It'll start with some of the major cities in limited areas. So really, when you're looking at wide-scale adoption of 5G, that's still perhaps another 2 to 3 years out. And so there'll be a handful of consumers who will want 5G devices, likely living in big cities like here in Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Beijing, Shanghai. But perhaps in those smaller cities, they're not going to care too much yet until those networks are more widespread. But of course, the big issue here is this Google issue. As a result of Huawei being on this US blacklist, it's not been able to get access to Google's Android operating system. Now, this store is pretty quiet now, but earlier on today, there were dozens of people in here buying actually the Huawei Mate 30 Pro. That's the more expensive and slightly higher spec version of the device. And that kind of underlines how in China, the fact that Huawei hasn't got access to Google is not a problem. And that's because Google services have been blocked here for many, many years. Where Huawei might find a bit of struggle, however, is in the international markets. All its previous phones have come with Google apps, like Gmail, Maps, Chrome, etc. And consumers there are very much used to that. And so it'd be interesting to see how this performs. It could be a big drag. Of course, Huawei has released its own operating system called Harmony OS. Now, as of yet, it's only put that on one of its smart TVs and not put it on a smartphone yet. And as of yet, it says it's got no plans to do so. But our colleague Christine Tan had a chance to catch up with Huawei's CEO and founder Arjun and asked him a little bit about whether they would consider using this on their smartphones if they no longer had access to Google in the long run. Let's listen in to what he had to say.
We won't replace Android because we support the development of Android. Google is a very good company and we want to enhance cooperation with them. If Hongmen gets to develop its ecosystem, it would be a good complement instead of a replacement.
I understand you want to keep your relationship with Google, but does Hongmen OS have the potential to replace Android Google should you choose to develop it further as an alternative mobile operating system?
First of all, we want to cooperate more with Google, and Google wants it too. The only problem is if the US government would approve it. Whether we have the approval depends on what happens on November the 19th. We hope that the US can approve that we continue our friendly cooperation with Android. I'm sure it's not about capability, as we are definitely capable of achieving what we want to do.
For now, you've gone ahead anyway, and you've launched your latest handset, the Mate 30, even though you don't have the full suite of Google apps. Why do it? Why launch a new handset in the midst of all this uncertainty?
Because the Mate 30 has a lot of functions that would attract many customers. Whether people would accept our product without Android system installed, I need to test. They expect the number of Mate 30 sold to be around 20 million. We'll wait and see if people are actually willing to pay for our Mate 30 system, if people can accept us without the Android system.
Just out of curiosity, did you bother to test Hongmen on Mate 30?
Not for now.
It's understandable why Arjun would want to stick with Google, because getting a brand new operating system off the ground with the thousands of developers, thousands of apps that are required to make it successful, like Google and iOS have had, is an extremely difficult task. But look, I want to put this in context. It's not all doom and gloom. You saw Huawei post some growth in revenue in the first half of the year. They hit record market share in China in Q2, and they're also still one of the largest smartphone players of the world. But clearly, this US-China trade war, this US blacklist are black clouds hanging over this company going into the next few months, and are very crucial to how this device will perform in the international markets.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.